All right, what's up, guys? Hopefully, everybody's having a good night. Uh, you guys know I say this every time. I don't even know why I say this, but this is gonna be a short live. So unless like super chats start coming in heavy, I'm gonna be done with this live by 8:45. So 30 minutes. I got my timer going right now, but I appreciate everybody that's in here already. All the people that have hit the like button already. I really appreciate it. I see we got my guy Dinklage Morgoon in the house. Doc 72, Caleb. Intimacy Nutrition Doc. We got my guy Frank Mata. Man, how your Cowboys doing, Frank? You guys doing good? Yeah, yeah. How's that season going, bro? Oh, we got boobs in the house. Oh my gosh. Red Maroon says at Intimacy Nutrition Doc, I'm just dealing with some shady stuff from people. And yeah, bro, fucking tell me about it, man. Michelangelo, what's up? Mojo, what's up? So I'm hoping that this is gonna be, like I said, this is gonna be a quick live one way or another, guys. But this one I'm gonna leave a little bit more open to hopefully like other topics of discussion besides PPs. If everybody just wants to talk about PPs, that's fine as well. But I'm gonna try to not pontificate as much, and I'm gonna try to get through as many questions as possible since I'm not planning on going live. Sam Matt says, "How are you, Hink?" I'm fine. Ultimately, I'm fine. I frequently work with patients that are actively dying and young, and or people that are, just in horrible situations, and so I'm fine, all things considered. Yeah, but thank you for asking, man. So, Natty Arturo says, "Hey, Hink, I've been doing Apex 90 minutes, 20 minutes of pumping for the past 90 days. What are some ways to get back sensitivity?" So, yeah, man, the ways to get back sensitivity. So, number one is I don't know what kind of split you're doing on your Apex, but do intermittent. So, if like do like 15-minute intervals, maybe where you like do it, break it up, like do it and then break it up so you restore the blood flow. That can help. Maybe even just cut down on the total amount of extending, number 1. But also, you know, uh, uh, like, literally, that's why Shield was developed, to help with sensitivity, okay, and help with any kind of nerve changes that result from PE. So you could consider, obviously, Shield, or, of course, you can just look at the ingredients and form your own similar stack if you like. But yeah. So, Geo Neo says black ginger is great for testosterone and slight ED, raises your metabolism a lot, half teaspoon twice a day. Black ginger is also in fortitude for exactly that reason. And so, yeah, I don't know if guys realize like how much effort and time I put into developing these supplements. Activity back. But thank you for including that in the chat, my guy Geo Neo. KB says the shortest amount of time for manual stretches if focusing on girth work. And thank you for the other super chat, man. I'm sorry, I'm not at in my best space right now, and I don't want to lose my manners. But I really appreciate all of you guys being here. Certainly would appreciate it even more if you wouldn't mind hitting the like button. But if you don't, I understand. And certainly, you guys sending the super chats my way. That's very generous, very much appreciated. Shortest amount of time for manual stretches if focusing on girth work. I would probably say 5 to 10 minutes, just enough where you can help to kind of stretch out the tunica. And then best girth routine for newbie before and after 6 month mark. Thank you, Doc Hunk. You rock. I appreciate you, man. Um, and thank you for whoever's slamming that heart button right now. So I mean, so you have to understand my growth routine hasn't really fluctuated. Unlike so let me rein it in. Let me rein it in. Do it, Hink. Let the hate flow. Oh man. Nope. Not doing it. I'm not doing it, guys. I'm not doing it. Unlike certain types of people in the PE space that sometimes think that more is more and complicated is more, and you have to, oh, I know we had said this, but now, haha, now I found the secret. I've been doing the same stuff, my same routine since I came into the game. Okay. I don't think more is more. I don't think you have to make it complicated. My routine would be a warm up set of pumping and then 3 to 4 sets of roughly 5 minutes, somewhere around 10 inches of mercury as well as you can tolerate. I don't think you need to switch that up. I don't think there's evidence that you need to switch anything up. I think if anything, there's possible evidence that progressive overloading could actually potentially increase collagen deposition. And so, yeah. So anyways, so yeah, that's my thought. I don't think you need to do anything fancy with that. That being said, I am going to plug my course. So once again, guys, I've updated it with Bathmate, but I talk about extenders. I give my manual stretching routine. Certainly go into deep detail about like pumping routines, set times, pumping pressure, like all of these things. And it's nice because it's organized in a way that you can just see, like, oh wait, what did he say about set times? Oh, pumping set times. What did he say about the bathmate position? Like positioning your bathmate. So, anyways, if you're interested, check it out. Appreciate the support. If not, it's all love, man. So, let's see. So hope that answers your question, man. Ooh, so my guy, Oversized D, appreciate the Canadian money, man. He says, I spoke with a dude on getting bigger, and he said he was doing bundled stretchers with high arousal at over 60%. I think that's insane. How dangerous is it doing something like that, according to you? And so, um, yeah, so that's a question. Sorry, where's advanced? So, so when you're talking about like hard flaccid risk, okay, what they say explicitly is that you have the risk of damage, specifically with injury at the base of an erect penis. And so I think when you're doing stretches, the more erect you are, the higher the risk of injury. Now, that being said, if you just have like a solid chub and you're doing bundled stretches, I don't know how crazy that is. I mean, like, honestly, it's kinda hard if, like, 0% erection is, like, completely flaccid and 100% is completely erect. Like, to me, that's like a solid chub, and I think that's okay. There are times when I will start to get bricked up, which I think that praise is just hilarious, getting bricked up. But anyways, doing manual stretches, I'll oftentimes try to, like, avert my attention or, like, do, YouTube or something. But, yeah, and I have, like, at least a 50%, if not 60% while I'm doing manual stretches, and it's okay. I mean, so I don't think that that's crazy dangerous in my personal opinion. Now, if he was, like, 80%, yeah, I think once you get above that threshold, like, that's when you start to risk things, and so, so yeah, man. Uh My guy, Intimacy Nutrition Doc. Intimacy Nutrition Doc, help me out, bro. So so guys, like, he has a Patreon, Intimacy Nutrition Doc. He's the, like, dude most well-versed in supplements that I've ever met in my entire life. And that's coming from me that I literally have designed my own supplements, but I need your recommendation for, like, 1 or 2 of the most potent supplements for stress, because 'cause I'm losing my fucking mind. Oh my god, man. Jesus. So yeah, if you could put in the comments what you would recommend for stress, just like 1 or 2. And you don't need to necessarily go into doses or anything, but yeah, let me know, man. I would appreciate it. So, shortest amount of time for manual stretches if focusing on girth work, best routine for newbies in 6 months. Okay, I think I answered that. Bundled stretches. Yeah, I think that that's fine. Did I miss another one? Red Maroon says, Hink, you need to make some more routines for the new guys, extenders in particular. We need the Hink meta. Red, man, like, so I appreciate you giving some of the money that I gave you today back. Oh my gosh. It's like, I had, yeah, there's some stuff going on, and, so my cash flow is not quite the same as it used to be, but I'm a man of my word, and so fortunately, he was able to negotiate with me, but he's been doing some really good work for me, kind of on a commission thing, so, so yeah, I appreciate you, Red Maroon, and basically listening to me, like, vent and bitch every day. So, anyways, man, so, yeah, I actually that's what I plan on doing, and so I actually, it was kind of a blessing and a curse, like, for whatever reason, I don't know what it is, maybe it just got played out, quite possibly that's the case, but, like, a lot of the content that I was doing that would, like, crush the views when it's like, Adult star talks about size preference, and it was like a guaranteed like 60K views. And now that isn't doing too well. And I don't know whether it was just timing and like everything was like people were going back to school and starting and like enjoying the last bit of summer, blah, blah, blah. Or it was like, I don't know, or maybe it was just getting stale or repetitive, I don't know, like, people like, I get it, your tastes change, but the content that seems to be doing better back like, right now is more PE related, and that's, what I would rather talk about than hearing, like, 305s, as they call them, saying like, "Oh, I could take 11 inches, trust me, ba-dur." So yeah, man. It says we need the Hink Meta. Speaking of Meta, the Meta glasses by like Ray-Bans or Oakleys, like they're pretty freaking awesome. And so my brother got me like he gave me his old pair because he got a new pair. And like you can listen to music and it's almost like now I'm blanking on the term, but it's like, through bone conduction, there's a specific term for that, but I'm blanking on it. But, like, it's right behind your ear so you can listen to music, have phone calls, record video, and so I'm actually gonna be using it, like I'm working on a manual stretches part 2 video and also, like, a how to measure video, and so, like, I can hit record on my glasses, and then it's like a POV, if you feel me, hashtag tummy pancakes. But for actual recording content, it's very helpful. So yeah. So thank you, my guy, Red. I really appreciate that. So intimacy nutrition, I said mastoid bone. Is it transduction? Maybe that's what I'm thinking about. That doesn't sound exactly right, but yeah. So I gotta find intimacy nutrition doc's recommendation when he talks about what to take for stress. Ibiza flower. Oh, I think you did. We did talk about that in one of the formulas actually before. Let me see if I can get that. Let me make my note right now. I can't read, so Albizia flower. This dude is so well versed in supplements that like he talks about some shit that like I'm like, "Oh, okay. I didn't know that existed." And then I try to find it and it's like one producer like in Uzbekistan that like you can't get it. So anyways, man. So thank you for that intimacy nutrition doc. Check out his Patreon. It's like patreon.com/intimacy nutrition doc. And so Sam says, "Hey, thank you for the super chat, my friend, first and foremost. He says, "Hey, Honk, can you still do PE exercises if you've gotten surgeries or injections?" So it depends, man. Um, so, like, if you, for example, have filler injection, hyaluronic acid, and you are doing something where there is constant like pressure around like the glands or around the shaft, it could potentially deform that hyaluronic acid and leave you kind of not permanently because hyaluronic acid fillers are by definition temporary. Um, Guys, we just get to hit 100 people in here, and we have 54 likes, so that I promise that'll be the last time I say it, probably, but, hit the like button, man, I'd appreciate it. Um, so you have to be careful with that, just because it could cause poor cosmetic outcomes. Now, like certain surgeries, like certainly if you've had like a ligamentalysis, like cutting a ligation of the suspensory ligament or cutting the suspensory ligament, no, I wouldn't recommend you doing PE because you could potentially damage the nerve artery and vein that have already potentially been damaged from the surgery. Something like an implant, absolutely not. Something like potentially uh, like the pneuma implant, like, absolutely not. But I have had guys that have had the pneuma implant, had to get it removed, and then they have to do PE and are consulting me, patreon.com/DocHink, DocHink, link is in the description, because, because he now has, like, developed fibrosis and shrinking and is trying to reverse that and also regain his lost size from having that. And so, like, I'm not gonna say, like, you can't do it at all. I just think you have to be very mindful of what you did, um, because there's a lot of complications, but, like, that is just like, I wish you had said, like, "Hey, Hink, can you still do PE if you get this surgery?" And then I could say, like, "Oh, yeah, yes or no." Ultimately, guys, once again, as if I need to say it, clown in a mask. What am I even talking about? How do I even know anything? Okay, so just do your own research, form your own opinions. I'm just a guy in a mask, you know, pretending to know what he's talking about. Joe, what's up, man? He says, "Love and peace to you, Hink. Love and peace to you, my friend. That means so much to me, especially uh, especially in these times, man, especially in these times. That's all I want is love and peace. Uh, but, it is what it is, man. In Foke, um, in yeah, anyways, he says, "I'm a really good-looking guy, just my 4" is my biggest insecurity, but will put in that work to get to 5 inches." So, I would be curious, man, first of all, that's awesome that you're really good looking because when a woman looks at you as far as attractiveness, the first thing she's gonna look at is how attractive you are, and then, like, your D size only comes later and later and later, and my hope for you guys um, my hope for you guys hold on, just real fast. Intimacy Nutrition Doc, will you text me your Patreon link? So I'll put it in the description of this chat, just before I forget. If you send it now, just text me like Telegram, and I'll put it in there. Uh, but, like, in a perfect world, and I understand this doesn't always happen, but you meet a girl, you like her, she likes you, she's attracted to you, you get to know her, see what you have in common, see what you don't have in common, go out on some dates, and then intimacy starts, and hopefully at that point, your size isn't an issue, and so it doesn't matter if you're 4 inches or 14 inches, like, she's gonna like you for you. Now that being said, sexual incompatibility is a real thing, and guys, I'm always gonna try to be real with you, like, some people accuse me of, like, coping, where's my guy with the Kobe Bryant, thumbnail? But, I truly think that, like, size isn't as important. Thank you, Intimacy Nutrition Doc. I just got the text. Um, but the point is that I'm hoping that won't be a deal breaker for you. Average vaginal canal is about the average size of an average penis, okay? It's about 5 inches aroused, okay? Give or take. For some people, 4 inches is right where it takes to hit the G spot, and that's, like, the best sex they've ever had in their life. I think was it Caitlin V that was saying that? Or maybe that was somebody else, or maybe that was, gosh, what was her name? From Erotic, Eden from Erotic. But anyways, so, I definitely think you can get to 5 inches. I would also just question how much of a fat pad you have, because you might truly be like 4 inches non-bone pressed, and, that is not ideal, you're on the smaller side, but, yeah, you can definitely improve it, man, and I think that you could go from 4 to 5.5 inches, and so that would be going to, like, below average to, like, well into the average, and depending on which study you look at, above average. I think 1.5 inches with enough time and dedication is absolutely possible. So, yeah, man, so stick with it. Um, got that. So, B Blue FXT says, "Does anybody know how the F I can't or, why I can't send a super chat?" It might be your country, like, depending on what country you're located in, it might not work, but, I will text in the chat and type, like, "Hink" in capital letters. I tend to see more of those, um, or even, like, at Hink maybe. So, wow, Caleb said, "Hink, before I found your channel, I almost got pneuma. You saved me." Damn, bro, that's, like, one of the most meaningful things I've heard because those pneuma implants, guys, whew, they oh my gosh. It's one of those things, like, I would never, ever, ever recommend that ever to anybody. Um, man. So, Lucas says, "Hi, Hank. Have you had any trouble shipping extenders to Brazil? I've been meaning to buy one, but read about them not being accepted due to regulations." I specifically have not heard that. Red Maroon, can you reply to uh, Lucas to see if you have any insight about that? Because Red Maroon handles a lot of the shipping from PMP, and so yeah, I'm not sure about that. Appreciate the super chat, my friend. Um, that being said, especially to some of these different countries, man, I love you guys supporting me, supporting my products, supporting my like affiliations, if you will. But that being said, I can about guarantee you there's going to be a cheaper and maybe even easier option for you to get an extender to Brazil, besides Peak Male Physique. Okay, obviously, I prefer you shop at Peak Male Physique, but I get it, man, and I'm never going to try to I personally am never gonna try to screw somebody else over for my own gain. That's just not how I roll. So anyways. So Ham Baloney says, "Hi Hink, just made this channel to say thanks for you helping me from go to 6 to 6.8 in the last 2 years. Good for you, man. See, like I think that's a fantastic gain. 6 to 6.8, like that's game changing to go from 6 to like all just shy of 7. Like 7 is big, guys. I've said that before. So um, yeah. So Darren says, "What's the downside of getting a one size bigger cylinder?" Um, Getting your testicles sucked in, I think is like the only downside to having a bigger cylinder. For some people, it's more of an issue than others. Um, da, 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 da. My guy, Ortho OnlyFans in the house. Only Ortho fans. He says, "Mom, toaster strudels." It's pizza rolls tonight, man. It's pizza rolls. Toaster strudels are for breakfast, which they are delicious, by the way. He says, "Thank you for all you do. If you ever want to hunt deer, I can hook you up." I appreciate it, man. Thank you, thank you. Actually, where I live, we have these herds of deer that just like literally roam right in front of my house. But where I live, there's like ordinances against like firearm discharging, and obviously, it's not during hunting season. Um, so, anyways, I still get edema, but I don't care. I love catching the nurses meat gazing. I hope you are doing well. I mean, there's a simple compliment to like, whoa, to meat gazing, right? Like if somebody's noticing your meat, like it's like a I mean, it is a compliment. Like my biggest thing about like not necessarily meat gazing, but like I know how insecure I was and like even out on the beach, like I try to be mindful of like if my flaccid is just like chilling just at like 6.5 soft and I'm just like, flopping. Oh man, I keep hitting the table, flopping from like side to side. Like I don't want some guy to see that. Like I'm not gonna be like, oh, I want to show off. And I'm not certainly not saying you're showing off. This is different situations. I'm just rambling here. But I just try to be mindful of that. But it is nice, especially I prefer women. Okay. And it's nice when women meet gays for sure. Yeah. So I certainly feel you on that, man. Um, got that. We got that. So Walter, he says, "Does being uncircumcised affect compression hanging? If so, how should I compression hang?" So yeah, it can. I mean, what I would try to do now, we have to understand. First of all, I'm cut. And second of all, I don't use any devices. Ben was kind enough to send me a mail hanger, but like when if I start using, that's going to be what I use. But the point is, I think if you retract your foreskin as best you can, and um, yeah, and then apply the compression hanger there, I think that should work. The other thing is that feel the burn. What's up, my guy? Um, the other thing is, I mean, you can just use it standard, but I do think if you use it over your like unretracted foreskin, it will stretch out your foreskin more. Okay, so just keep that in mind. So Red Maroon says at Lucas, we should be able to send them through the delivery service based there. Based there, we certainly circumvent the issues with the different label wording. And so, my gentleman from Brazil that sent the message about getting it shipped sounds like that's not an issue. We can send it there, man. Um, Caleb says, "When I hit my 1-year P anniversary, October's very own. Let's go, Caleb. I knew you were OVO, baby. I'm gonna hit the helicopter to uh, celebrate. Do it, man. And send video. Send the video to the chat. Send the link. Um, let's see. Man, here we have like 5 minutes left, and I have like at least three super chats. Let me get to it. So Mac, my guy Boobs, he has 2 melons on his super chat. Thank you, man. He says, "How much downtime can you take before progress stalls or gains regress?" Some melons for your trouble. um, so it depends, man. Like if we're talking temporary gains or permanent gains. when I've taken 3 months or more off multiple times, and I've never lost size, okay? I've lost some flaccid size, and I've lost some, like, temporary edema gains, but I've never lost actual, like, significant erect size in either length or girth. Um, so I think it depends. Now, I guess the first time I took time off, let's see, so I started in July, and then I took a break in, like, late October, and so, we're talking about was 4 months deep into PE, but my length gains have remained, and most recently, I've even taken, like, actually, I take a long time off. I took at least, like, a month off straight, and I didn't lose any kinda length, so it's always which I'm always nervous of, I'm not gonna lie. Um but, like, some of the content I record, I look back at it later, and I'm like, "Damn, like, this is with no PE for, like, 3 months? Like, okay, let's go." So, yeah, man, I think it just depends. But you just need to make sure you don't conflate temporary gains with permanent gains. That's when you get into trouble. Woo! So Sam says, "Hey, Hink, I'm 8 inch" thank you for the super chat, my guy. He says, "I'm 8 inches, by 6-inch girth. My goal is 9 by 6.5." Jesus, man. Um, says, "My wife has adjusted. I feel like I plateau. I pump once a day for 20 minutes. Any day, any suggestions to get out of the rut?" First of all, bro, you're 8 by 6. Like, that is a unit. Oh, man. I was recently, talking to my talking to my brother. He was like, "Bro, that G Unit album goes so hard." I'm like, I know. I listen to it regularly. G Unit Beg for Mercy, guys. It's probably came out before most of you guys were even born, but it's a great album. Um, so if you're just pumping for 20 minutes, that's not gonna do much for length, in my opinion. Like, you need to have a length routine. So if you're trying to gain an inch of length, you need to add length. I also think that adding length work is going to increase your girth work as well. And so I would do 20 minutes of manual stretches, extending, hanging, whatever you wanna do. And then I would do, yeah, and then I would pump for 20 minutes, and I would do sets of 5 minutes, yeah. So, yeah, man, I think that that would get you out of the rut, but good lord, man. Um, like, do you even understand how many, like, adult stars are significantly smaller than that? Like, significantly smaller than that, so but good for you, man. I'm not hating shit. I'd love to be 9 by 6.5 too, I'm not gonna lie. So Bluxfest says, "Hey, Hink, 23, been consistently pumping for almost 3 months. Helped my EQ a lot, but I still cannot keep a hard on while standing up, only while sitting or laying down. Any advice? 5 milligrams Cialis, no help." So, there's a couple of things. Number 1, it could be related to your pelvic floor. Um, Typically, I don't recommend Kegels, because, I think most guys don't need it, but in your case, you could consider adding Kegels, and so that's when you just contract your pelvic floor, okay? Like, if you were peeing and then you try to stop your pee, like, that's a Kegel, okay? Or if you're having a bowel movement and you kinda pinch off your bowel movement, that's a Kegel. The important thing is that if you're gonna do Kegels, you need to make sure you have a flexible pelvic floor, so you have a strong but flexible pelvic floor. That would be one thing that I would recommend. You could just have a specific anatomy that when you change positions, you're basically the occlusion of your veins, that like the blockage of your veins that prevents blood flow out, is disrupted, and so your veins kind of open up and you lose an erection. It's a reasonably common thing. Okay. Um, as long as you can still get one while sitting or laying down. But I would actually consider trying Kegels. Make sure you're doing pelvic floor. I would also see if we wearing a C ring, the name for a type of chicken is a cock ring, but that would be something that might well, it would certainly help. But that's more of a band aid fix because the ring itself is going to occlude the veins and prevent you from losing the venous outflow. So yeah, that's what I would recommend, because it sounds like there's something anatomically happening in in your pelvic floor, whether it could be like muscle positioning, like the bulbospongiosus muscle along the like corpus spongiosum underneath, or potentially just the venous changes in the veins. So yeah, I don't think there's any kind of arterial implications with that, meaning so you have your artery pumping blood in and your veins taking blood out. So yeah, man, hopefully that helps and try the Kegels and let me know. Um And I'm glad you figured out how to take how to send the super chat. Very much appreciated, and that's very generous. And yeah, let's see. Let's see. Frank, you're awful quiet about the Cowboys, dude. I see you in the chat. Best feeling in the world. I'm not sure what that's associated with, but yeah, bro, you're awful quiet about them boys, man. So, Sam Shamalu says, I think the reason I asked is because I might get the suspensory lig dude, gee. So let me finish the quote. The suspensory ligament release from one of the best surgeons in my area, but I also wanted to continue to do PE after. Do you think that's unrealistic? Love the channel. So, so my friend, I mean, first of all, keep in mind, I'm not a urologist, regardless of whether you think I'm a doctor or not. I'm not a urologist, so hear it from a urologist. When you cut the suspensory ligament, what it does is it allows the penis to hang lower in the flaccid state and give the illusion of a bigger penis. It does not increase your erect size. Your dick might point down more, like when you're erect, and that can give the illusion of a bigger erect size, but it does not increase the erect size. And so it doesn't do anything for girth. The only thing that does is give the illusion of a bigger flaccid penis. Okay. And I will say it gives you a bigger flaccid penis. Now, what are the downsides? Number one, when they do that surgery, there are well documented cases of people hitting the nerve artery and vein that run like basically underneath the suspensory ligament that gets injured. And so you can have permanent nerve damage, permanent erectile dysfunction even if he does it perfectly and everything gets cut perfectly, you have to make sure that number one, he puts some sort of either Teflon or mesh or fat or something in there to prevent the suspensory ligament from reconnecting because it absolutely will reconnect if you don't do it. And it can scar down and leave you actually shorter than when you started. The other more important thing is that when you cut the suspensory ligament is what's responsible for stabilizing your D. And so when you're having intercourse, your D is going to be like flopping around and you increase the risk of something called a penile fracture, where a girl could be on top, come down on it, and it bends, and you have literally a penile fracture. If you guys haven't seen something called the eggplant sign, it's literally when your dick looks like an actual eggplant because the tunica ruptures and spills a bunch of blood into your penis. And so it bloats up and fills with blood, and it literally looks like an eggplant because it's purple. And once again, no, if you ligate that suspensory ligament, I absolutely would not recommend doing PE because you're going to be pulling down and you could potentially put too much tension on that nerve, which could cause damage. Now, if you want to pump, yeah, that's probably fine. But even still, even the placement of the pump is right where that suspensory ligament is, and you could potentially increase the damage that way. So, man, I don't know which surgery I dislike more. No, I definitely know. I dislike the pneuma more. Man, the suspensory ligament is it's a really close second. It's a really close second. It might be number one. I hate that surgery, and I don't think anybody should be getting it. And even the like board of urologists uniformly went against that surgery for enlargement. So I wouldn't recommend that. If you were going to do something, I would recommend hyaluronic acid. Why? Well, first of all, it'll give you girth and it'll give you erect girth and flaccid girth. Secondly, you will increase the weight of your penis. And so your flaccid penis will actually hang longer and be thicker and it will give you a bigger flaccid penis. But there's also, like I said, the erect benefit when it comes to the girth. And so that is like the only surgery that he recommended. Now, I wouldn't recommend it, but I think it's a reasonable thing to consider as long as you get that from like the risk of permanent damage from that is actually extremely low. And so like it's mostly cosmetic issues that can result from hyaluronic acid injections. So yeah, that's my take on that. So Max says, am I stretching wrong? Skin feels sore afterwards. No, I don't think so necessarily. Sometime I can have some like it's like skin stretching. I do think with time. Thank you, Mac, for the super chat. And thank you for the last super chat as well, my friend. But I do think that the like aftercare with your skin is also important, and maybe even like warming up with a warm washcloth before you start stretching will kind of loosen up the skin, put it in a more stretchable state, and also kind of partially moisturize. So yeah. So Mikey DeMarco, there's actually one of my favorite artists is named Mac DeMarco. I love that guy. He has really good music. So yeah, man. Caleb says 100 likes and Hink will show off the pecs, aka the muscle milkers. I haven't been lifting that hard, man. Like, gosh, it's I don't do well with stress, guys, and I stress all the time, which is not a good combination. But yeah, man. Guys, we 4 more likes. We're at 100. I would appreciate that, man. So yeah, and we are 5 minutes past my deadline. So I'm hoping that let me just make sure. Let's see. I'll do answer one more question. Woo! So Seeking Truth says, "Hey Hink, you said in the last video that you shouldn't extend manuals length before having some fun. Do you mean that you shouldn't do it the same day or only just right before?" What I'm saying is like I would not recommend you do that immediately before. Thank you for my guys that just hit the like button and got me over 100 likes. I really appreciate it. Um, so yeah, just don't do it right, but like immediately before. I think it's fine to do it early in the day, but also you need to know how you respond to manual stretches. Like for some people, their EQ goes down, and so yeah, and like after doing any kind of PE, and so you just need to how to know how you respond to that. I do fine with it. I can do manual stretches and go right into it, and don't have any issues. So Caleb says, "Hink, I saw an article about sports cars and a small PP." So I mean, I think there is legitimate, like, compensation that people do, but I've also seen pictures of, Jason Love next to a Lamborghini Urus, and I don't think anybody's gonna be like, "Oh, you compensating." So yeah. So yeah, guys, that's gonna do it. This actually was a short one. I appreciate you guys, all of the support, sincerely. I can't mention that enough. I'm hoping I don't know, man. I hope like, I don't know. I hope you kind of see me for who I am, no pun intended, which I just try to be a genuine guy and I try to help out others and not just myself. And I hope that comes through. So anyways, um where's the pecs? See, you guys, you got to pay for that, and I'm not really feeling my pecs, man. They're kind of struggling a bit. But anyways, guys, I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. Probably going to be releasing an article. I mean, a video about my GQ article on Friday. So stay tuned for that. But all the support, guys. Like I mean, I don't want to get all like cliche and whatnot, but I don't know where I would have. I don't know where I'd be without you guys, and so I really sincerely appreciate you guys, and I mean that a lot. So, anyways, love you guys. I appreciate you guys. I'll see you on like probably in another live stream this weekend. All right, guys, peace and love.